Yeah, your life, social media. Welcome to the show. 7/21/2026. Summer's going away real quick. July is just about done. Semester's creeping around the corner, and those of you who are like, oh God, it's time to get back to the university. Got to get more in depth on my social media, get caught up to date before I have to be smart, right? Nostalgia has traditionally been understood as a psychologically meaningful recollection of your personal significance, your identity, you when you grew up, you as a person. Yep, you as a kid, you as a child. Not necessarily that, though. It's not necessarily only that. Social media changes the process of recollection. It changes the process of your own memory. It encourages people to document their experience to others, the audience, rather than you fully experiencing your life experience yourself in the moment. We're not talking about at the expense of the future for memory, but experiencing the moment. You're too worried about, got to get it captured, got to get it presented to the world, got to get it out there. Yep. Nostalgia before the digital age, the childhood torment of Timmy cut themselves. Little Betty let go of the rope and hit the rocks instead of the water. You know what I'm talking about, the childhood experience. The largely freedom from free from the world, the consent of the digital age that you gave the digital giant goblin. You just gave it straight to the goblin, the digital interruption. Anybody ever been in a Walmart or a superstore or a supercenter, or your favorite place to go buy your commodities or your digital crap? And some kid is crammed face into a digital device, so mom and dad don't have to mess with it, man. The experience, the excitement, the hands-on, the put the toy down, drop it. We're not buying it for you. Creating memories based on emotional significance instead of triggers. Kind of like the last show we did. Well, not the last show, a couple shows a while back. The Harbors of Deceit. Your social media acolytes. Yeah. Before smartphones, memories were stored through the repeated process of historical storytelling, the yielding of the event. We're not talking about grandpa's big fish turning into a bigger fish. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the direct sensory response. History was written through linguistic trade, linguistic value, the experience. Families got together, revisited each other. The holidays, Christmas, hide the silverware. Uncle Bob's coming. Yep, the thief. Everybody's got one. Yeah. The important memories of the conversation. Were you involved in the conversation, or were you involved with your device? Anybody ever been out, on Friday night, you go to the local pub, you go to the local bar, you go to the local spot where everybody congregates, and the boys and the girls aren't hitting on each other, they're not talking, they're not trying to get that extravaganza of an emotional experience and an orgasm at the end of the night because everybody's on the cell phone. Everybody's face is glued to that. Become deeply digitally connected to your alternative life, your virtual life, the emotion, the visual acuity of what the trigger is on your cell phone is greater than real life itself. Your nostalgia, it's disappeared. Family traditions, gone. Yep, it's Thanksgiving. Everybody's at the table. Got those phones. Gotta go. The community gathering. Everybody has a phone. Everybody's on the phone. Everybody's out. The neighborhood, the friendships. Phone. Yeah, we don't need to talk in person. You go to your house, I'll go to my house, and we'll text. We'll text, even though you're, 20 yards away? Text. Yep. The vacations. Heck, even the church events. How many of you have been in a church event or your favorite religious building and everybody has a what? That cell phone. Everybody's chirping on that cell phone, allowing the memory to become deeply connected with your alternative lifestyle. The virtual you. Chats are open, Rumble, YouTube, and we put it on TwittyX again. I don't know why, because I got a request. They're like, I watch it on X. Well, why don't you ever let anybody know? I just watch it. That's cool, man. So we're here on Twitter X again. The emotional attachment. Yeah, the nostalgia, the places that you think you recall or think you remember, but you're really not remembering them because you're too busy documenting them. Oh, I'll go back and look later at the pics, at the videos. It'll remind me. It'll be like a photo album until you realize your phone was broken. You didn't hit a clickety button on your device of alternative lifestyle and it didn't go to the cloud, and now it's gone, and now you're having to nostalgia with your connections that did the same thing so that you can get the memory restored back into that limbic system filing cabinet, hippocampus, the drawer, the limited photographs, the emotional experience driven by the people, which is you, part of the people. People resent the meaning of attachment in different ways. Keep this in mind. Rather than just the quality of the photo or the online response, people are triggered by what they see, what they hear, what they feel, what they can smell. This reminds me of when you burnt the bacon at the last Christmas dinner. This reminds me of, when you got the hook caught in your neck when we were on the Laguna fishing trip trying to catch jaws. Yeah, you remember that? You were in so much pain, but it was so funny. Everyone laughed at you and you got mad. Yes, it was all your fault. Yeah, we told you not to sling the rod that way, but then the covert narcissist came out. It's nobody else, not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. You weren't paying attention to me. You weren't helping me. Yeah, even the bad things, even the bad nostalgia, the nostalgic episode helps create trait development theory, your life, your choices, the future direction that you go, man. Yeah, you, as a grown adult. The experiences. Becoming content with personal memories. Yeah, you're just going to become minimalized in memory experience. And, hey, man, this was great. Your recollection is triggered by an event. And every time the recollection of a memory is triggered, you're accessing that memory bank again. The limbic system, the hippocampus, those drawers are opening. Individually, subconsciously, unconsciously, sometimes. Yeah, when you're knocked out, went out for that celebration, had a little bit too much of that celebration nog. Forgive me, I'm trying to get my chair adjusted. The dog was in here. Yeah, your memory banks are different. That's according to how well they can process the information in the moment and tie it to a nostalgia event from your past. What does the memory retrieve? How strengthened is that memory based on what you did during the moment to store the memory? You spent too much time gifting to the phone. You spent too much time gifting to the strength of the algorithm. Yeah, the social media. The photograph was stored. It was shared. Look at that. I got 10,000 likes rather than just asking whether the activity is meaningful. Stop in the moment. The nostalgia. That's what nostalgia is, the moment. You can tell what nostalgia is for a person on how they speak, especially how they dress, how they look, their approach to specific phenomenons in life, phenomenon being a problem. Consciously evaluating what's going on, that's nostalgia too. It generates attention. It generates self-awareness, self-approval, self-discipline, self-worth. It also generates that collective approval online. So which one's best? The real life version or the online version? The nostalgia of it was all digital. It was all my virtual. You can't drink virtual, can you? No. You can't eat virtual. Can't touch virtual. You can touch the device. It's kind of like the algorithmic relationship with AI. Yes, there are people in the world that have a love relationship with AI. Talk to it all polite, loving, endearing, hoping to get the good response. Yes, those people exist. Sharing that nostalgic algorithm with an entity that is not real. It's not them. No, yes, it's them. When you go, it's not me, it's the AI. No, it's you. You're too stuck into the algorithm. You're still stuck into the nostalgia of what's hip in the moment. Kind of like fashion. Yep. Got to pay attention to the approval online. How many clicks did I get for this video? How cool was this? Did I go viral here? Nostalgia. The psychology of documenting the verses in the brain. The verses, the words, the linguistic, versus documenting the experience. The words, the linguistic, the verses, yeah, it can be used in your virtual life, but the experience is not there. You hear it, you see it, but it's not really a true recall of a moment. You're recalling what you're seeing on the phone, because without the existence of that device, your memory is profiled as belligerently broken, down, dilapidated. Why? Because you set it up that way. You didn't want to have to put forth the effort psychologically. Retention. Yeah, retrieval. Your retrieval is now at the push of a button. Modern experiences, they're recorded and shattered at the same time. Don't record that. Can't put that out there about me. I want to forget that moment. But everybody else wants to remember it because it was hilarious. It was great. It was funny. You got injured. Anybody like that? Somebody gets hurt and it's insanely funny, so you laugh at it. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I know a lot of people like that. Chats are open. Hit it. Anybody know anybody that laughs at people when they get hurt? I know quite a few people that do that. Yep. It's not like it's a curse. Not like it's a bad thing either. Not a bad thing. It's just psychological response, right? The nostalgia. You grew up that way. Grew up with a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters, or a single sister with 5 brothers, or a single brother with 5 sisters, and it was just they were laughed at all the time, scoffed at. Individualistic identity, the unconscious awareness of self from nostalgia, the past. Documenting. It reduces emotional immersion, so to say, when you're relying on the algorithm or the digital series to record your life. Because you want to go back. The vacations, the birthdays, also known as the real life, the public performance that you have to put on. You don't want to be there, but you got to put the public performance on, correct? The exhibition, the documenting it. Hey, let's take a smile for the picture, Johnny. The significant moment for someone else, but not you. I want to forget this ever happened, but you can't forget it. The nostalgia of you being disappointed and psychologically dilapidated because you were forced to go is now captured in the algorithm of IT, the cell phone, the pressure, the visualities, the visualness, the acuity of you're just gross. You just didn't want to be there. Nasty. The appealing content, all right? It may transform into personal celebration, personal anger, personal negate, personal dark triad. When I say dark triad, I mean the dark triad of psychology, the loss of meaningfulness in present life, everyday moments of life. Yep, the mindfulness. It involves directing full attention toward the present moment, people. Full attention toward the present moment, just like you would direct full attention toward your favorite live streamer, your favorite misguiding conductor of mayhem, disaster, and gaslighting and blowhard on social media. Yeah. The continuous digital interruption of your life reduces opportunity for sustained attention because you're not processing what is happening in the moment. The nostalgia is not even being written in your algorithm of hippocampus and limbic system, your memory drawers, the amygdala, the storage place for everything, the interpretation, the frontal lobe of the brain. This brings back a memory because it smells like something. Yeah, it smells like something you've seen before. What's going on with this light? Ooh, that's way too. That's not bad. We'll leave that right there. Not bad. That's why. Looked like I had a burn-on suntan for a minute. That's what caught my attention. The meaningfulness, yeah, it involves directing full attention toward the present moment, people. The present moment, like right now, where you're at, what's happening, what's going on. What's going on in the background, kind of like the ambiance, the ambient noise, the opportunities for sustained attention. You're being triggered. Recall memory. You're not being asked to pick up your dadgum phone. The digital age is destroying the algorithm of natural memory. Yeah. The ambiance. Now, when I said the dark triad of psychology, I got asked the question the other day. Can a narcissist destroy one's nostalgia of themselves? Sure. Yes. Yeah, seems like narcissism is a big, arguable topic in society, especially social media, right? Anybody seen the video of the guy that, purple-haired, he, she, pronoun, Florida Police Department? I'm not going to show the whole dilapidated thing, but I watched it the other day. Man, that was a nostalgic moment, wasn't it? The memory of what happened, especially for the law enforcement officers, triggered by social media. Yeah, triggered by social media. Not by the written words of nostalgic memory to where one reads, because it's the digital age. It's easier to see it on the TV, read it. So let's get back to that dark triad of nostalgia destruction for you. Training. Yeah, simple training, the special occasion, or tainting the special occasion through training oneself to taint the special occasion for everyone else. That's called the time or the timeline hijack. All right. And typically not through the belligerent narcissistic act of nostalgia hijacking, but narcissists, kind of frequently manufacture a crisis in a moment. Yeah. Nostalgia. The narcissist is able to pull nostalgia forward, right? Memory of how they were the victim. Had no causation in it. The arguments, the silent treatment. Everybody's seen it during the holidays. Bob's over there quiet with his 40. I'm not talking about a weapon. I'm talking about a big old 40 of beer in a paper bag and a long sleeve. Santa Claus for a dirty Christmas sweater, right? Yep, the silent treatment, the birthdays, the anniversaries, the nostalgia of it sucked last time and it's going to suck now. All because of you. I have to be here because of you. I'm the victim. Nostalgia is being destroyed. The nervousness of you. Ensuing the nervousness of, I don't want to address this because it reveals something that's distressing rather than celebrating a true memory about me, my birthday. Because narcissist Bob, the hot timeline hijackers over there, the tainted occasion. What does that do? It rewrites the nostalgic past for you. Yes. Got to protect the ego. Psychologically, dark triad people. We're focused on the narcissist at a request. At a request, mind you. That's not the only, mental dilapidation of, hijacking memory or nostalgia. That's just an example within a dark triad of psychology. Recasting the event. Anybody ever heard of, no, that wasn't him, that was him. That wasn't her, that was she, he. That wasn't Betty, that was Jan. When it was Betty, but somebody wants it to be Jan, and they're doing it with intent to confuse you, to create an argument so that they would be blameless in the event. And now the nostalgia of a disastrous event at a holiday, a birthday, an event, a church event, a gathering, a community event is now happening. Yep, the hijacking of the event. Aggressively. Passive assertive. Yeah, your version of the past doesn't meet my version of the past, causing you to question your own memory. And you're right. You were there, but now you're questioning your own memory at the impossible, shared, mutual, dilapidative breakdown of the people with an non-attentive memory. Yeah. The authentic history, the timeline. You're losing it, the nostalgia. What is this? It's got a pop-up alert. I guess the world's busy today. Yeah. Weaponizing. Anybody know anybody that weaponizes shared memories? Shared memories. Everyone knows the truth, but someone comes in and the nostalgia of the good time, the fun, the past, but they twist it. It's a redissemination of selective information, the intimacy, the override, the present dissatisfaction of all of you are talking about it again. So I'm going to change the story. I'm going to shift the boundaries of the timeline to destroy the nostalgia, because I know you're going to talk about it online because you've all got the guts to talk about it face to face here. Yes, the demolition of you, demonization of your memories, all done through what? Psychologically induced dark triad. And now we have the digital age introduced to it, to where all of these people with the ability to destroy one's memory, it's all online now. Yeah, manufacturing of memories, selective memory, and digital storytelling. Digital storytelling is not as nostalgically efficient as linguistic, kinetic, kinesic, physical, face-to-face, physical. Someone's talking about something, giving the physical example, and everybody around them is laughing. It's kind of like being at the camp, around the campfire. It's not as effective. It doesn't work that way digitally. It's not remembered either, because you'll go on to your next digital virtual life experience. Yeah, because of the boredom in the moment, the failure of attention gaining. Yes, you're going to move on. You and your digital age amplifies the tendency to encourage others in repeatedly visiting their own digital past, which is not true nostalgia. It's not. Stored on a device. You're relying on something that somebody else created that's pretextually supposed to be more intelligent than you are, more capable than you, faster than you, process quicker than you, process with more credibility, reliability, and simple set precedent than you have of the moment. Set precedent of the moment and how to interpret it. Why? Because digital age. I remember it from this picture. The thing should be positively and socially correct as it is in the experience of viewing this picture or watching this video. This is what's going to happen. Creating the incorrect representation of the past. Social media. Your phone. Creating the online autobiography of oneself. Anybody ever write an autobiography of yourself? Anybody ever write a bibliography of others? Yeah, the autobiography that bottom line differs from real life, guys. It's not real. You're relying on that cell phone. You're relying on that computer to coach you and tell you what nostalgia should be for you, how you should see this, how you should recall this, how you should remember something. What you need to come to a self-conclusive argument, because you're going to have to argue this with yourself, is you took part in your own cycle of life, your own triad of triggered developmental sequences, life traits, the elements. Who are the contributing factors? What was the contributing factor? What was the ambiance of the moment, of the nostalgia that made you remember something for life? Yes. Well, she broke my heart. I hate that girl. No, she looks like Betty. I'm never going to date a girl that looks like that, because I know what she's going to do. Everybody understands where I'm going here. Not saying it's a reality, but it's a good example. Individuals feel pressure to remain consistent based on nostalgia. Yes, credibility, validity, the nostalgia. I developed it. I've got it here. Research, scholarly peer review. I was taught everything has to have reliability, set precedent, non-arguable, peer reviewed. The cell phone's not going to tell you that. Googly's not going to tell you that. ChatGPT, Cloud is not going to tell you that. They're going to celebrate you. It's good. It's great. It's great framework for a full course inventory meal of a threshold of your own creative work. It's bullcrap. It's helping you distort your own memory, distort your own nostalgia. The memory reels in your head are not what are going to be accounted for if you rely on an outside source. Why? Nobody can go into your brain. But people can see what you look at, what you read, what you publish, what you comment on, how you comment, the words you say, the linguistic venues that you choose. What was that glitch? What is YouTube so glitchy? I don't know. It's always glitchy. Let's get back to the psychological loss of the moment, psychological loss of the presence, the ambiance, the nuance, the nostalgia, living for the future posts rather than the present experience. Yeah. The moment's being captured. Sure, it's not being captured here, but it's being captured on your device, everybody else's device, anticipating the social media reactions, the likes, the dislikes. It went viral. That attentiveness to the algorithm reduces the current experience by far, because you're not in it. Be in it to win it. Imagine if an Olympian was too busy with their phone trying to document the true competition for the gold medal. Oh, I highly doubt the gold medal would be achieved now, would it? But everybody else is documenting it for you. You're in the moment. So, everybody else is documenting it. Great. It's your nostalgia. It's your life. You're the one that composes the capture of the moment in your brain. The limbic system, the hippocampus. The drawers that open up when your frontal cerebral cortex, the frontal lobe of your brain, triggers on visual, sight, acuity of interpretation of smell. And then amygdala says, hey, limbic system, open up. Remember this? That fast. But no, the meaningful moment suddenly unfolds and ravels away because it was replaced by another reaction. We need likes. We need hits. That's called memory displacement. And you're purposely doing it through consent of digital interruption. Using... Where the hell is my phone? Ah, here it is, heading under the remote. These things. Yeah, that's what you're using. Yep, one of those. You're replacing it, the algorithm. The consolidation, repeatedly shifting attention away from ongoing experiences in the moment. Things change. The reduction of both mental and depth and physical depth, mental depth, the recall, the trauma of the recall, the long term, the short term. You're just training yourself to legitimately negate experiencing it. Well, you're not going to be able to recall it unless you look at a picture. You're not going to be able to recall it unless you see a video or look at someone else's timeline or someone else's viral moment of you screwing up or falling off the cliff and everybody laughing. You've reduced your emotional immersion in your meaningful moments of your own life. Ambiguous behavior by you, isn't it? Psychological immersion occurs. Attention becomes fully engaged in an activity when you've taught yourself to move everything out of the moment except for the activity of the moment. The law of intensity, law of recency. What's happening right now? The laws of learning. Yeah, the fragments of attention. Are you unfragmented for attention? Or are you allowing yourself to be fragmented, limiting the emotional response, limiting or reducing the opportunities to, I don't know, get a deep personal reflection of what you're experiencing in the moment? That's a sad thing about people. That's why memory recall is so bad. The spontaneous experience. Well, I couldn't record it. You've taught yourself not to recall it. You've taught yourself not to file it. You've taught yourself not to be attentive to the moment to where you know how to remember it. You know how to store it. You know how to linguistically articulate it to yourself in your head. It's kind of like you hear the phrase, say it 3 times and you'll remember it forever. The decline of the spontaneous experience. No one wants to experience that spontaneous experience anymore. It's the Grandioso of set up. Text me, email me, we'll arrange it. Yeah, we'll set it up. Send me an RSVP. I hate those. We get those from the university all the time. RSVP for this meeting, to have a meeting, to have another meeting so that we can schedule the major meeting. No. Just let me know when it happens and I'll be there. Unless something bigger and better is out there. Just one of those things, right? People would rather record the event versus live it. Anybody know somebody that would just, they can't go anywhere without that dadgum phone or that camera out? They can snapshots. Everybody remembers the Godzilla commercial, the TV shows when you were little. All the Asian people, regardless of where they came from, all had cameras. Everybody remember that? Always got a camera, always got a video. Well, that's you now. Yeah. Nostalgia. Who cares about the moment? Let's document it. Let's get a like. Let's have a conversation and record it so the world can see and interpret how we're seeing it, interpret our own emotions so that the virtual world can tell you what your emotion was in the moment. Tell you what your sensory immersion was, the descriptors associated with the original event that you experienced, but not the viewer of the photo or of the short video on a platform. Becomes more memorable to somebody else versus you because you're too busy trying to capture the next nostalgia and put it out there to the world. Nothing's personal anymore. It's called a comparison machine. You versus them. The algorithm. The science of social comparison, why humans become naturally comparable to themselves or others, the others being that in the social world, social media world. Stop worrying about them. The social comparison is normal psychology. Yeah, it's normal psychological process of growing up, especially for adolescents and juveniles and young adults and some older adults too. Evaluate your own abilities, your value, your progress in the moment. Yeah. By those around you observing you. You're evaluating that based on how you perceive how they perceive you. But the easiest way for you to conform to that is be the one that focuses on that algorithm, that social media, so that someone sees that the real attentive detail to your life experience and your nostalgia is being circulated to them for their approval. Yes, I need to get your approval. This is my life. Thank you. Now we know everything about your life. Now you're historically great. You've got 1,000 likes. You went viral. You're the trigger of comparison, comparison comedy, drama, the moment. Yep, social media drama dramatically expands the comparison group. Yes, society. It expands you if you're one of those people that have to put everything on social media. Excuse me, your friends, your co-workers, your neighborhood. Yeah, those around you in life. It's all carefully accrued, people, moment by moment. You create the environment, realistic, unrealistic, in your head. Is it a virtual or is it a fake? Is this an unrealistic interpretation or a realistic interpretation? Thus, validity, credibility, reliability, and set precedent from past, the hippocampus, the memory, the validity of it. Upward and downward, yep, social comparisons. It's like a broken roller coaster ride, people. Successful, attractive, wealthy, accomplished. Yeah, inspire the growth. I'm so wealthy. I got so much money. I got so many followers. I'm in Miami. Come get me. Pop, you got your ass got, didn't you? Got picked up. Now you're facing all kind of charges from another country. We all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, bad fashion sense. Come get me. Well, they got you. That upward comparison, it produces discouragement from your own nostalgia because you're so worried about that algorithm of the world, that virtual identity. You're corrupting yourself. You're comparing yourself to ones that are doing the same thing you're doing, destroying their own memory system, destroying their own self-reaction of empathy, encouragement. The measure of success of being a real human being, not wealth, attractive, beautiful. That stuff goes away, people. You're going to get old. You're going to die. Yeah. You're not going to be wealthy forever. Well, I got money. I'll be rich forever. Yeah, but you will get old, wrinkly, get disease, get dilapidated, and die, be ugly, and all that attractive beauty. Nobody's going to want to touch you because you've got a $1 kajillion, but you're ugly, gross, shriveled up looks because you spent too much of your life clicking. Sending, click me, visual. You've reduced your own empathy to yourself, your own development, your own life. Superficial measures of encouragement, yeah. Or they're not superficial to you because they haven't been met in the moment of right now. The media, got to be popular, right? And so that's where everybody gets their popularity from. But then again, this is a CJTV academic. Yes, we have resources. We even actually have compodiums of scholarly venue of terms, definitions. If you want it, send me an email. I'll give it all to you, all of our research. I know people are like, well, where's the actual posting of all the downloads and the researchers? It's still summertime. That'll pick back up when the fall semester picks back. Everybody's out on work detail. Yep. Shared internships at law enforcement agencies, at governmental facilities, working internships. Real life. Real life. Yeah. The nostalgia of, yep, I'm a student at a university and got to work and do all kinds of stuff to be successfully a developing scholar. Can't rely on that embedment of social media, that relative deprivation of the real world. The media will do it for you. Social media will do it for you. The algorithm of envy. Yeah, the algorithm of envy. You want to be so much more popular than those that you compare yourself to on social media. No, this channel, we don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. And the small numbers, but I would like to think that those that do follow this are academically scholared. Want to actually say, hey, can I get a paper? Hey, can you help us out? Can you give us some information so that we could do our own research on a specific topic instead of being a victim of algorithmic envy? I'm going to follow the gloom and doom. I wish I could get this information. The designer clothes, the high end, the dominant social skills of society, the composure. Where's your composure? The appearance, the body language of what you're looking at. Is that really what's valuable? Or you're living your life and experiencing what's valuable? Cosmetic, the staged images, beauty, skin, the expensive vacation, the high-speed cars. Who's that jackass that walks around with gray hair like a dude who gets in a car? Oh no, I saw a video. I tried to ask somebody who it was, and they said, yeah, it's like an old, he's a male model, and he looks like Zeus. That's some of the stupidest looking crappy clothing that is just, why would somebody wear that and then wear flippity flop crappy shoes so that you can get in your $300 billion car and take a picture? That's not a lifestyle, people. That's encouragement of media and inflection of, I have to be like this guy. This guy's setting the standard. This girl's setting the standard. This girl or guy are sucking me in like a vampire so that I can ambiguously fall prey to. That is the meaning of the memory of life. That is what I'm seeking for in my own nostalgia, the comparison. It's an enhanced appearance. It's not reality. That's set up, people. It's not real. Stop losing your own nostalgia of the moment for what you perceive to be the moment in your own memory and nostalgia. It's pretty sad. Blink your eyes one day and your whole life is like gone. Right past you. Yeah, the dissatisfaction of unrealistic experiences. And you wanted those unrealistic experiences. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask, did I really want those? Yes, I did. I can't remember how, or I can't remember if my own life was cool or not. Was it? What was the nostalgia of me? The carefully edited online stuff that you fall prey to, it portrays what one can see as realistic, but it's really unrealistic. It's not the norm. It's the individual consider. Is that reality? Is that everyday routine for somebody? Should I conform to that so that my nostalgia is the same as someone else's? It's the same. My nostalgia has to be like yours. My nostalgia has to be like this person's. It's meaningful work, yeah, but is it meaningful work with an extraordinary amount of worthless content that you're going to force yourself to remember? Insignificant events. And it's those insignificant events you're going to constantly compare with other extraordinarily insignificant events of others, destroying your own nostalgia. The fear of missing out. FOMO. Fear of missing out, man. Don't want to miss out on social media, so you put your own nostalgia, your own life aside to do something. Gotta watch my favorite show. Yeah, gotta fashion myself under the pretext of this is how I should be. Persistent awareness of what's going on in the virtual world of nostalgia is not aiding in your own individualistic world of nostalgia. Your own memory recall. The constant occurrence of being elsewhere while you're there. In the moment, physically, not mentally. You ever walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, where's your head?" Where you're like a ghost, man. You're not here. You're not paying attention to what's going on around you. Everybody knows somebody like that. The anxiety. I'm here, but I've got to make sure everybody else in the world knows I'm here. The opportunities, the conversations. I have to have those. The experiences may be missed out by everybody. My experience right here, but who cares? You're the one there in the moment. Experience the moment. Get rid of the stress. Get rid of the distraction attention that everybody needs to be nostalgically assigned to your nostalgia, your life, your decision and your regret. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to creep up on you like old age. There's sexy girl with money and the super hot model male guy with a big fast car and a stupid hairdo and a stupid shirt that takes flip-flops off to get in a $10 billion car that just sits there and nobody drives. Yeah, nostalgia. What was your life like? Presenting images for everybody else that they should be like. Me, the fake reality. Yeah. Anybody ever remember Walmart? You know, the guy that made Walmart? Anybody ever hear the rumors, you know? I couldn't verify it, but I always heard the rumors. Drove an old truck. Rich as rich gets. Wore overalls. Farmer, dirty farmer look. Everybody made all this up. Yeah, the decision of meeting the standard and not regretting your own nostalgia and losing your own life in the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the digital age, self-awareness, photos, videos, events. Individuals are not limited to a singular attendance to an event. It's out there. You can download it, see it, watch it, have multiple platforms going at one time. Heck, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 monitors here with this going, that going, this going, and OBS, but I'm just talking to a camera while I'm watching things and looking at university stuff and messages from students and emails while I'm just talking about a subject to you, man. I'm not letting the nostalgia of the day or the moment go by. Don't let happiness become a competition between you and the digital age, because it's going to ruin that nostalgia. Yep. Someone else's highlight of the real of their life. The real meaning the memory recall of the experience. Many life users out there in specific events compare their everyday struggles too. All of you compare an everyday struggle. You think, oh, my day's horrible, my day's terrible. Well, guess what? Somebody 10 feet away from you or in a car over there in a building over there is going through a crappy day too, and their day by far is 10,000 times more worse than yours. But yours is it. Yours is the spectacular moment of self-loathing and failure. You're preoccupied by what should be the rejection of oneself. So you've lost self-awareness, self-worth, self-confidence because of a single event. A social exclusion becomes more visible because technology broadcasts it. And you're going to be more willing to broadcast your own miserable moment in a video on social media and then make fun of somebody else's. Yep, at the same time, happiness becomes the competition. Yes, it does. The validation replacement. Yep, validation replacement fulfillment, so to say. You validate what you see, and it's got to become part of your life, even though technically nostalgia never was a part of your life, but it looks so cool you want it to be a part of your life. But you know, the only way it can be measured for happiness or become a valid replacement fulfillment is you're going to have to work your damnedest to get there, but it's not going to be really what you saw in the virtual world of the algorithm, because you're copying someone else. It's just a copycat algorithm of something that you believe should be your own nostalgia, but it's not you. You want to follow the trend. Yep. The symbol, the perceived social value sticks out to you like a sore thumb with a nail stuck in it, bleeding all over the place. It's the pursuit of the experience, the general public recognition of what good nostalgia should be, good historical venue could be. External appearance, external approval replaces the inner confidence, people. The inner you, the external world. You're conforming. Confidence, traditional development. You didn't have all of that when you were a child on a playground fighting over a swing. You didn't. You didn't have that when you got your heart broken from your first girlfriend or your boyfriend or vice versa or whatever. You didn't have that when you lost your first cat and you cried, or you lost your first puppy and it died. No. Resilience, the mastery of human survival, the nostalgia of life, death, achievement. Social media is not going to get that for you. Not going to get that for you, people. It's going to destroy that confidence level because you're not meeting the upward expected, underappreciated, or appreciated expectation of social media. The audience reaction, making self-esteem more dependent on external feedback from something with no credibility, validity, or set precedent in your own life. I get 1,000 likes. Who cares? I got 10,000 subscribers. Come get me. Stupid. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The Tates. I'm in Miami. Come get me. Get $1 billion. Okay, well, they got you. Yay. Should have picked a better wardrobe. You should have went to leg day at the gym. People know what I'm talking about. Yep, I'm making fun of it. Yep, bad shoes, high water, the world's going to flood, and chicken legs. Yeah, I'm so hot and attractive. Look at... Okay, look, man. Okay, I'll do leg day. I got gigantoid legs, for those that have seen me. Yeah. I don't skip leg day. Why? Because I'm not worried about the ever-exhaustive, authentic, impression of what your self-expression or your... I don't know, what your self should become on social media. Gotta look good, the fashion. I couldn't put on a pair of pants like that if I had to, not because of the waist, because of the legs. It's like the size of this cup. Come on. Personal identity becomes audience dependent, and you become audience dependent. Therefore, you start losing your nostalgia. The sad thing is, nostalgic doesn't mean everybody's going to remember it. All these moments and episodes in the world of virtual communication and virtual life, social media, people are going to forget. Going to forget it. Nobody's going to remember it. It's going to be gone. But your nostalgia is based on you, your episodic memory, your trauma, your life experience, your recall, your satisfaction, your replacements of what you choose to replace with something better. Your own internal and external validation. Those need to become more frequently thought out symbols for you to perceive social value of you and you alone, to you, not them. Stop worrying about the magic topic of the algorithm in the world and the nostalgia. Try putting that couple ounce $1,500 brick down and go live your life. Anybody of you ever go on a trip and not even have a cell phone or a documented piece? You can do it. It was done for decades before cell phones came out. Cross-country trips in cars, no phones, just pick a direction and go. Have a little bit of gas money and hope you get there. Nostalgia, dopamine, behavioral replacement, the life, the journey, psychological triggers, the habit-forming act of retention. In the moment, what do we have to do? Making the social connection with reality, the environment, instinctive rather than institutional. Life instinct. How are you going to respond? Life, success. Not being triggered by what you see. That's not your success. That's somebody else's click rate. Somebody else's scroll. Somebody else's follower. So, I know it's the afternoon. You've got things to do. Is what it is. You've got nostalgia to develop, don't you? A life. Long-term fulfillment measures. Got to get those done. Not every meaningful experience requires public documentation, people. It doesn't. Privacy allows for individual enjoyment without external evaluation or external interpretation. Because why? There's always a little narcissist piece of shite somewhere that wants to turn what you did into a bad thing. Or they see you do something great, but they're the victim because it's all your fault. They couldn't achieve a nostalgic life with great memories. Just remember, those people exist Don't be one of those people. And you do not need the approval of society and a direct conversation through IT or a virtual world that lacks emotion, empathy, understanding, and human linguistic manners, ways, and methods of communication. Face to face. You can't replace that. And besides, it's not your fault. You were building your own nostalgia. They're just jealous of you constructing your nostalgia. So go build some great nostalgia. Put your cell phone down. Get off the... I'm not saying abandon social media, because some of you are hooked on it like crack, but slow down. Live your life. Experience it. Get out there and get a thorn stuck in your thigh. Bleed out a little bit. Experience pain. Experience poison ivy. Experience a heartbreak. Experience killing your first game. Skinning it. Eating it. Cooking it in the mountainside. I know. I'm not going to kill an animal. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegetarian. I only eat fish. You're freaking kidding me, right?